My sister stopped talking to me for years. Her reason broke me. I have an older sister, Nadia. Growing up, she was everything to me. She was the one who walked me to school, helped me with homework, and stood up for me when I got into trouble. If someone asked me who my best friend was, I'd say her name without thinking. We weren't just siblings, we were a team. Then one day that just ended. I was 14, she was 19. It started with something small. At least that's what I thought. I had borrowed her laptop without asking. I just needed it for a school project, and mine wasn't working. I didn't think it was a big deal. But when she found out, she got really upset. Not normal upset, not, hey, don't touch my stuff upset. She looked at me like I had done something much worse. What did you open? She asked. I was confused. Nothing, just my project. Don't lie. I'm not lying. That argument escalated quickly. She accused me of going through her private files. I kept denying it because I genuinely hadn't. Eventually, she just said, "Stay out of my things," and walked away. I figured she'd calm down. She didn't. After that day, she stopped talking to me. Completely. At first, I thought it was just anger. A few days, maybe a week. But days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. She wouldn't look at me, wouldn't respond if I spoke. If we were in the same room, she'd leave. It was like I didn't exist anymore. I tried everything. I apologized, even though I didn't know what I did wrong. I left notes in her room. I asked my parents to talk to her. Nothing worked. My parents didn't understand either. They'd tell her, "He's your brother, stop this nonsense." But she never explained. Eventually, everyone just adjusted. Dinner conversations continued without her including me. Family outings felt split in half. I stopped trying because getting ignored hurt more than the silence. By the time I turned 18, I had accepted it. I told myself, this is just how things are now. We lived in the same house like strangers. Then she moved out. No goodbye, no explanation, just gone. Years passed. I went to college, got a job, built a life. Sometimes people would ask, "Do you have siblings?" I'd hesitate before answering. "Yeah, a sister." "Are you close?" I never knew what to say to that. One evening, when I was 24, I got a message from an unknown number. "Hey, it's Nadia." I stared at my phone for a long time. Out of all the things I expected in life, that message wasn't one of them. I didn't reply immediately. Part of me was still angry. Part of me was curious. And a bigger part was nervous. After a few minutes, I just wrote, "Hi." She replied almost instantly. "Can we meet?" We met at a small cafe the next day. Seeing her after all those years felt strange, familiar but distant, like looking at an old photo that suddenly came to life. For a while, we just sat there. Then she said, "I owe you an explanation." I didn't interrupt. She took a deep breath. "The day you used my laptop, I thought you saw something." "What?" I asked, wondering what she meant. She hesitated, then said, "I had written a letter. I never sent it to anyone. It was personal." I was still confused. "What kind of letter?" She looked down at her hands. It was about me, about things I wasn't ready to tell anyone back then. I didn't fully understand yet, but I stayed quiet. "I thought you opened it," she continued, and I panicked. "So you just stopped talking to me?" I asked, unable to hide it anymore. "I was scared," she said, "not of you, of being exposed, of you seeing me differently." There was a pause. Then she finally said it. "I was trying to figure out my identity back then. I didn't know how to deal with it. That letter, it was the only place I was honest." It clicked. All those years of silence came from fear, not anger, not hate, fear. I didn't open anything, I said quietly. I know, she replied. I realized that later. I felt something twist inside me. Then why didn't you just talk to me? I asked, wondering why she waited so long. She didn't answer right away. Because by then, too much time had passed. It felt impossible to go back and fix it. We both sat there in silence. 7 years. 7 years lost because of a misunderstanding and fear. I'm sorry, she said, for all of it. I looked at her, really looked at her this time. She seemed lighter, more at peace than I remembered. And honestly, I didn't feel angry anymore, just sad. We can't get those years back, I said. I know, but we're here now. She nodded. It wasn't some dramatic reunion, no instant bond, no perfect ending, but we started talking again, slowly, awkwardly, honestly. And sometimes I think about how fragile relationships really are, how one moment, one assumption can quietly break something for years. If there's anything I learned from this, it's this. Say the uncomfortable thing early, because silence can cost you more than the truth ever will. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more real story.